It's about that time of day again here, boys and girls. Newsletter time. JJ here. SchoolOfTrade.com. SidewaysMarkets.com is our blog address. Tonight's newsletter, Tuesday evening, January 6th, 2015. If I didn't wish you a Happy New Year yet, if you missed last night's newsletter, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2015. I've got some very lofty goals for this year. If you're a member of mine, I talked about that today in our live trade room. Boy, what a great day, though. Little bit slippery on crude. Had a bit of a sideways range to begin the session, but then another day. What do we end up? Down 5% again today, so crude keeps selling off. What a nice trade call on gold from last night, huh? Boy, that volume can definitely be a key component to confirming that move higher. We saw how effective volume was last night on gold, right? Easy money buying gold today. We're going to see if gold can make it up to that 1225. And then how about that Russell, right? Again, Santa Claus rally's over, right? So we pretty much I can't really brag about saying we called the short on crude. Newsflash, right? Sell crude. Yeah, okay. Duh. Obviously, we sold crude, sold Russell, last night's newsletter, and bought gold. So 3 for 3 from last night's newsletter. We got some more action to plan for tomorrow. Before we jump in, though, get ready for tomorrow's price action. I want to remind you guys to make sure you're watching this video over here at SidewaysMarkets.com. There are 3 reasons why, if you're watching this video on something else besides our blog, if you're watching it on our YouTube page, there's a link right below the video that'll take you right to this page. 3 reasons why you should be watching this video on our trading blog. 1, you can download all the charts that I'm going to use today, right? That's right. All these charts you can download to use on your own time tomorrow or this evening or next Tuesday or whatever you want. Second thing is, I have a free pass for you to come out and join me in my live trade room, right? You're going to learn more with me in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, any afternoon this week or next week. Grab your free pass. Come join me in the trade room. I want to show you how professional traders moderate a live trade room, right? We're the best in the business, and I'll prove it to you. And, of course, the third thing is we've got the nightly newsletter mailing list, right? Last but not least, our nightly newsletter mailing list. All right, guys? Now, first thing, download today's charts. Second thing, grab your free pass. And third, our nightly newsletter mailing list. Now, if you grab the free pass or if you register for our nightly newsletter, just be aware I'm going to send you a verification email to make sure that you get my email, that I've got the right email address, and that you give me authority or approval to keep sending you emails in the future. All right, guys? Hands on the wheel. We got seatbelts fastened, mouth guard in, stretch, make sure you're hydrated. All right, great to be back here. It's great to have you guys back as well. Boy, it's a great time to be a trader this time of year. Let's start out with gold, that funny yellow metal, right? Now, I went on and on and on about this last night. Not much has changed on gold. In fact, we got a strong U.S. economy right now. We got a real weak European. Nothing's really new. Nothing's new. So we pretty much expect this 1200 to continue to be a reoccurring theme here. So our strategy for gold right now, we're going to follow the short-term trend on a chart that we show you in just a moment. But for the majority of our big picture chart here, we're going to sell these highs and buy these lows and then use that 1200 as our target, right? So we got the trend lines coming down off the highs, right? We got our trend lines up from the lows, right? So we got this little range here we're dealing with on the gold. You can see that outlined here, right? A consolidating range. Here we are now all the way up near these highs. Now here's a really good example. If you look closely, we didn't actually get all the way into this area. So I would expect price to try to go a little bit higher, right? And then we get that nice big collapse back to 1200. Okay, so right now, almost ready to be, we're really looking forward to selling these highs here around that 1230 area. Okay, so I'm somebody, when I look for a reversal, I always look for the buyers to try and fail. So rather than trying to get in, to be the very first person to sell short, wait for these buyers to try to bite off a little bit too much than they can chew. And then once they start to, ooh, whoopsie-daisy, right? And the reason why I say that is I want you to think about something for a moment. I want you to think about two ways that you can be a buyer. Think about this for a second. What are two ways to be a buyer? One, a buy setup. But what about the opposite side? Would a failed selling setup also be a buying trigger too? Yeah, now we're talking. Now, I have another question for you. Which do you do more analysis? Which do you do faster? Do you enter a trade faster or do you exit a trade faster? Be honest with me. Do you take your time to get into a new trade? Sure, most people do. But do you take your time getting out? I don't care what reason, either for a loss or for a winner. Do you take your time getting out? No way, right? When you get out now. I really don't care about how I get out. Just get me out of this trade. So the point I'm trying to make is that right now, the best opportunities to sell are going to come when buyers are getting their heads ripped off, right? I mean, I know it sounds bad, but when the buyers are experiencing pain up at these highs, that's the best time to be a seller, right? And then 1200 is our magnet going lower, okay? So again, I can't guarantee anything. I can't predict anything. All I can do is react. We are right up at those highs right now, so be ready for what? Buyers to start failing, okay? I'm going to tell you guys all this stuff in real time in our trade. Remember, these are going to be our long-term levels here for gold. So we know we got gold up near the highs. Now let's dig in. Let's roll those sleeves up. Let's go cut that time frame in half. Here's that short-term trend. And as you remember, we gave you guys the buy on that pullback last night, right? So this was a nice buy. We had projected 1225. We got pretty much to 1224, right, before we pulled back. So gold is definitely bullish short term, but the party looks like it might be over. We already know back on that previous chart that we're up near the highs. So we're looking for that clue. Now we get the exact opposite of what we saw last night. Last night, my exact words were, we had volume confirming. As the price kept going higher, we kept seeing volume go higher, right? My great-grandfather, Mr. Charles Dow, yeah, you know the guy, right? He told us that people only buy, right, or the volume confirms the move, right? That's what he basically said. So we knew that volume confirming that move is the big reason why I gave you guys the advice to be a buyer today on gold. Now, here we are again. I don't see any volume confirming. Now volume is not confirming. Oh, how convenient. Up near the highs of the range. Wink, wink. You get it, right? So now we're starting to see the first cracks in this bullish trend. Remember what I said earlier. Rather than looking for a selling opportunity right now, why don't we keep our eyes peeled tomorrow for failed buying opportunities? Now, you know, they're not going to make it that easy on us, right? There isn't going to be a big neon sign that says get short. So I would expect this to be a little more difficult than really it could be. So I would expect basically assume buyers try to push into that 25, into that 26 maybe, possibly all the way to 1230, right? And I give you guys those buyers targets overhead. And you can see, right? So we're still, and again, I mean, I don't really trade my gut instincts, but again, I've been around these markets for over half my life, and I know that the markets just do not make it that easy on us, right? So I don't think we're going to sell off yet, but I would expect to see that sell off a little bit later on in the week, possibly tomorrow morning after we make one more try, right, to hit those highs again, okay? So volume doesn't confirm. There's smoke. The minute we start seeing those buyers fail, that's when the fire starts burning, and that's when we're looking for our shorts. Come in and see me tomorrow in the trade room, and I'll walk you right through it in real time. Now, last but not least here, on my price action chart for gold, pretty much putting a stamp of approval on what I just said. You can clearly see we're bullish. Clearly. Okay? But look between the lines here. You see we got that bullish channel. That's easy. Okay, we're going to be right around the lows of that channel, want to be a buyer. Also, A, B, C, D, look at that, boy. 12.25 right there. So that's where I would expect we go. I would expect by this time tomorrow, we have either gone up and then collapsed, or we have gone up and we're trading sideways up here somewhere before the possible collapse later on this week. Tough to tell the time frame for this, right? This is gold we're talking about. It's not your average market. Okay, furthermore, bull flag. The characteristics of a flag is a straight line followed by a very, very easy to see parallel channel, right? That's a bull flag. I mean, that is the definition of a bull flag. Okay? So we know we get a bull flag there. That also pulls back now right into that prior, we call these trading ranges. Okay, overlapping candles, flat moving averages, very, very easy to see there, right? And notice, guys, there's no complicated indicators on this chart. You ever notice the only people who use complicated indicators are people who are selling complicated indicators? It's kind of funny. Anyways, so we know we're looking to buy those channels and buy those range highs because we have a bull flag. Now again, if I just looked at this chart, I would have no reason to know that there was some significant resistance up there at 1230. So just be aware. This is why we use multiple time frames. Okay? So I would expect, again, price to go higher before it goes lower. If it goes lower, well, so be it. We'll trade it short. But I don't think it's going to happen here tonight or tomorrow morning. So be aware. Short-term buys, long-term sells. I want to go a little bit higher here on gold. Let's keep moving. By the way, you can download all of these charts. How about that Russell, boy? Woo! Russell selling off. Boy, I mean, Crude, Russell, both. Big down days again today. The Russell was just straight down. And we saw this coming. Right? We saw it a mile away. We knew we had the Santa Claus rally at the end of the year, right? Santa Claus, he apparently ran out of cookies and milk, and, well, he goes back to the North Pole with his reindeer. Okay, so as expected, Russell pushes off the highs. No shocker there. We talked about that last night. So let's keep on selling, right? Let's keep on selling. Now, members, if you're a member of mine, we talk about candle or channel overshoots. We have a pretty easy to see overshoot right there. Okay? An overshoot is irrational price action. What usually happens when human beings become irrational? Usually the amount of irrationality overcompensates and then swings back, right? The average human being, if we become irrational, we do crazy things. Usually the pendulum swings all the way back in the opposite direction, right? You know, that manic depressive tendencies that all of us have, right? It's how it's pretty much what makes us human beings. So we know that this pendulum swung all the way down. It will probably now swing all the way back to the opposite side here. Bottom line, when you see an overshoot, expect a bigger correction. So I would be looking at selling these zones up top here, 1273.5, 1275.3. Those would be the ideal zones to be selling, right? If I had to choose. Obviously, though, we'll be looking for selling opportunities here at 65.3, at 69.4. We'll be looking at targets at 47.9 and 38.7, along with 28.2. So right now, the strategy on the Russell is keep on selling. There's no reason why we shouldn't be. Just don't sell these lows. And don't be surprised if we get that correction to go a little bit higher, right? Maybe possibly all the way back up to that 73 to 75 area, right? That would be just a delicious area there, right, to nibble on the short side. Moving now from the 32 to the 16, we look at this in a little bit different light. Now we get a much faster time frame here. We are well overdone, right? I mean, if you look at the ABC I've got on the chart here, right, members of mine, you know what I'm looking at, right? We have a golden extension down here. Right? I mean, this thing just went kaboom, right? So definitely well oversold, okay? I don't like the word oversold too much, but, you know, kind of lack of a better term, Okay, remember, the markets can keep on going lower whether we think it's oversold or not. So that's why I don't really like to say oversold. It's just we are lower. We're a little bit irrational right now. So price drops down, and then this is just a big clue that we're irrational price action. Now we see a triangle. Now, as a student of mine, you can go into your intermediate course in continuation patterns, and you can learn all about triangles. I would expect here a breakout, pull back, and then you're going to get that, again, that correction because of this very strong, oversold, irrational move lower today, right? So if you're looking for a way to buy for that correction I was talking about, this is a great spot to be a buyer right now, short term. Just make sure you're aware if you're buying right now in the Russell, tighten up that stop real quick, lock out that risk, take some quick profit, and try to hold up to that 70 to 73 area, which we talked about earlier. Okay, so we're oversold, stay patient, and be looking for selling opportunities right now. And don't forget, I've got a couple trend lines drawn here. These trend lines will be in play here right now. So we got trend lines, we got sell zones, trend lines, sell zones, reversal lines, right? Don't forget. Look for all those areas overhead, and we'll be looking for those tomorrow in our trade room as well. Okay, last but not least here, the Russell price action chart. Russell is definitely bearish. Okay, definitely bearish. That is a typo right there. That should say channel break. There we go. Okay, so here we are. This was a little bit of a tough channel here, as you see. I mean, we really had to kind of get creative on this one. So you get your bearish channel. Right, you get your channel break. Okay, so we're going to try to go back down to retest those lows now. Right, so 1147.9, we do expect price to retest those lows. Now, because we expect the sellers to retest those lows, you got to be looking to take a little nibble here, sell that 63, sell that 69, right? We'll say 67 and 69. I don't think we go all the way back to 76s, but if we do get back there, sell it. All right? I'll tell you right now, though, this little consolidation range we see right here is a huge clue. It's a huge clue because now that we know we're probably, I don't like the word guarantee. I can barely even spell the word guarantee, let alone say it. I don't like saying the word guarantee. I don't like to say the word can't, right? I don't like to say the word won't, right? That shouldn't even be in my vocabulary, especially after we've learned the last few years. So we know that it definitely cannot do this, but it's almost a guarantee. We go back to that 1147.9. The odds are definitely in our favor. We get there. So how do I get there? Well, one option is a trap, right? A trap short at 63.1. Another option is a fade short, right? We break out, we go up to this 1170 area, we use this consolidation range, this little tiny little overlapping candles right there. Okay, that's a little fade, right? So we do a trap at the high. We do a fade at the range above, right? This all comes because of that big channel that's been recently broken. Okay, another potential fade up top here. I don't think it's going to get that far, but if it did, that will be a fade there as well. And again, everything here is going to be targeted towards that low. Now, if you really want to get crazy, okay, you get a measured move extension down here now. This is an easy one. A, B, C, D, right? There's your measured move target at 1130 here on that Russell. Remember, I think it was 11, what was it on that 32? Yeah, 1128. So that pretty much puts us back at the lows. You can see this all lines up pretty darn well. So 1130 looks like a definite possibility here. Probably not tomorrow, but definitely looking for it later on in the week. And then, so I heard crude was a little bit bearish. Yeah. It's getting kind of old now, right? I can't even toot my own horn anymore about calling these things short. Yeah. Bearish crude. I'll tell you though, over the last few days though, we've seen this very interesting personality. Now it feels like we have a lot of rookies in the market now. Now it feels like all the mom and pops out there that were reading about this energy situation, while they were going to grandma's house for the holidays, Yeah, it feels a little bit like the 2009 gold market, right? Where you kind of had these it just feels like traders they're jumping on everything. You know what I mean? You don't see the buyers failing anymore, or at least the last 2 days. So, again, I don't want to overthink this because it's short, right? We're still going to keep going short. They told us $40 a barrel last week. What else do you want me to say? Right? The big OPEC nations basically came out and said, yeah, we're okay till 40, we're fine. So, self-fulfilling prophecy, if you're going to give us that target, they're probably going to take it. So, again, I don't like to predict. I don't like to do it that way. But hey, they told us 40. So we expect this long-term downtrend, unless something crazy happens, right? Unless we swing out of orbit here in our solar sources. I mean, I can't imagine this thing changing anytime soon. Now, we will see some corrections here. I mean, we're destined to see a couple corrections here. It hasn't happened yet. So, again, I keep telling my clients, at this point, you've almost got to just ignore the numbers on the right-hand side because there's just so much psychology that's just messing with your head, right? It can't keep going lower below 50. Oh, yes, it can. Well, I mean, it's at 45. It can't keep. Yes, it can. There's no reason why it can't. So again, I've now started to just basically ignore the numbers on the right-hand side. Okay, obviously I can't ignore the numbers, but I'm not associating those. I'm not using them as a comparison to where we were 6 months ago, right? because at that point it's difficult to keep selling, right? Obviously for obvious reasons. So we're just a little bit oversold right now. The most difficult part about trading crude long term. Okay, short term it's relatively easy. Long term though, difficult part is a smart trader simply cannot trade short right here. But you know what I'm going to say, right? Just wait. Tomorrow morning we come in, it's down to 44, right? It doesn't happen like this very often. This is what's been the difficult part about this just excessive trend, is that no professional trader in their right mind sells right here, right? We wait for price to go up. I mean, heck, we made more money in the second half of 2014 than we knew how to spend by just simply waiting for price to go up, sell it, and come back down. That's all our strategy was last year, and it worked flawlessly. Now, we've been conditioned, right, just keep sell the low, sell the low, sell the low, sell the low. So I'm going to tell you, follow the right way to do this. Stay patient, wait to sell those resistance levels. But again, I keep coming in and I'm like, boy, I mean, I probably should have kept selling the lows, but we can't sell the lows. So use the resistance levels above, keep selling here. 49.40, 50.42, 50.68. And then what do we do with targets? Well, for long-term targets, you can see here I went out and I projected some of these trend lines out. You really got to get creative on this. So trend line projections, measured moves, right? It's tough to find a measured move right now, right? I mean, look at this. They're all overextended. You can't find a measured move that will extend things out unless you go back to a weekly chart, right? So round numbers, measured moves, trend line extensions, that's all we can do right now, guys, for those projections out, right? Anticipating where we're going. Let's wrap it up here by moving to a faster time frame here on this crude. And you can see here, we've got 16 anchor chart, right? Drawn out my long-term channel. We get a break of that long-term channel. First attempt. We will most likely now make a second attempt to go lower here. But again, we're going to wait for price to go higher before it goes lower here, right? That's the professional trader talking in me. Okay, or for what I call a professional trader, right? So we know that we've got sell zones overhead. All I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for price to go retest these levels, and then I'm looking for reversal candles. I'm looking for reversal patterns. I'm looking for failed buy patterns, right? We talked about that about gold. Oftentimes the easiest way to make money is not to be a seller, but to look for failed buyers, because they jump out of those trades faster than they get into them, right? Immediately you see profit on that trade. And then we got targets waiting for you below here, 47.06. I've got my measured move target. We've got my reversal target, 46.40, and then my golden ratio target, 45.58, all the way down. All right, guys? You know the plan there on crude right now, right? You know the plan. Last but not least here on the crude, wrapping up here today. Price action chart on crude oil. We can easily see here what's happened. We get this big long-term channel. Keep an eye on that big long-term channel. This was a tough one to find. You had to start this channel off the lows, right? So you literally had to start that channel off those lows and then pop it right back up overhead. You could do it this way, but it messes with everything up top here. So I think this is the best channel that you can be looking at right now. So obviously, we would love to sell that channel high, right, if we get the opportunity to, right? I just don't know if these buyers have their game together, right, their act together enough to get this to 48, right? Who knows? But if we can get it, we'll sell those highs. We also can see here overhead, right, this is what the day started with. The day was, I mean, this was some of the most sloppy price action we've seen in the last few weeks. It was pretty tough. It was not easy, right? Very obviously here, a little bear pennant, classic fake out breakout, right? Classic trap. I mean, this is just classic stuff right here. Okay, this is how professional traders make their money. They wait for the buyers to go, we caught a bottom, right? Traders love trying to catch tops and bottoms because of survivorship bias. Kids, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what survivorship bias is, go to Google, type it in. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The reason why professional traders make so much money off those rookie traders is because of survivorship bias. I'll put a link below the video, right, over to Wikipedia. So we know the buyers are thinking, I'm catching a big move higher here. Oh, crap. There we go. Right back down, right? Sellers see it coming a mile away, and they take this sucker down, right? We get a short-term channel, right? New low, measured move overextends. And now we are, if you're a student of mine, we are in setup number 4 on our scalping strategy, right? Broken channel, retest the low, consolidation, okay? Easy, easy, easy. Now, think about what our options are for tomorrow. I want to sell short, so if I go back, right, trap it, just like they trapped in those buyers here, right? So look for the trap, once again, just like we found it earlier today. Easy, okay? It's part of our breakout strategy. Now, we do expect to see some buyers here, right? So if you do get a chance, very short term, breakout pullback up to that channel high. So possibly here, I would be looking first for that big reversal candlestick up at that 48.29, get short. If it blows right through it, look for the trap, then look for the pullback. When you look for that pullback though, members, don't forget, make sure the candlestick confirms. Don't jump into a long unless you get that confirmation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go into your course materials, check it out, and come and ask me questions tomorrow. Okay, so we're looking to sell short. We got a little bit of a buy opportunity there, about 48.29, but be very careful with that buy, right? Remember, we're talking about crude here. Okay, trying to buy long term, not my best strategy. Okay, guys? So looking good here. Expecting price to try to go higher before it goes lower in a lot of these markets. All right, guys? With the exception of that Russell, we're pretty much nothing but bears throughout the gate. All right, guys? So looking to sell the highs on gold. Looking to keep on selling retracements on the Russell. And, of course, this crude, we're in a consolidation range right now. We're going to use that trading range for our breakout strategy or your setup number 4 in the scalping strategy. If you don't know what I'm talking about right now, what are you waiting for? Come out and join me as a member. Come see me tomorrow morning in our trade room. Don't forget, guys, we have the best free trial on the planet. I just spent the last 3 weeks of my life creating a brand new free trial for School of Trade. I know, right? It was the best in the world last year. Now it's even better. I'm giving you more information than you're going to have to pay for anywhere else. I can guarantee you that. If there's a better free trial on this planet, I would love to know. So please keep in touch. Let me know. But guys, I'll prove to you how well this stuff works. Take that free trial. Don't forget, we got someone standing by here 24/7 for live support if you need it. Don't forget, guys, come back and see me tomorrow. Same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. My name is Joseph James. Thank you so much for listening. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.